And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
There's a lot of popular video games out there. There's many games I remember playing as a kid, but the one video game that seems that everyone knows, and one of the most popular video games of all time, is Tetris. Well, when I first saw the game Fits, I thought, hey, that really looks like Tetris as a board game. And I played Fits, and I said, you know, this really feels like Tetris as a board game. It is different, and Dr. Rainer Knizia has done a few things with it, but that's what this is, Tetris the board game. But it's done so in a very nice, easygoing way, and it's a way I think that many people are going to really enjoy the game. It has some really nice pieces. Let's look at them. Each player gets a board like this, which has a cardboard piece that's placed in a diagonal slot, looking like a Tetris board. And then once everyone has put in their number one board, everyone is randomly dealt one of these cards, and it shows which is their starting piece per se. And they will drop these pieces into position on their board in some method. Now, I'd like to point out how when you put a piece in your board, you simply take it from the top and slide it down. You cannot, once it reaches the bottom, you can't slide it over. So say, for example, this blue piece is like this, and I drop another piece down, this little corner piece. I can't move it down here and slide it over. You can do that in Tetris, but you can't do it in this game. So everyone has their starting piece. At that point in time, a deck is placed on a table, and it's randomly shuffled, and a piece is drawn from that. And then everybody is dropping in the same piece as they try to put it in their thing so that everything fits in the best way that they possibly can. So let's say everyone drops in their piece like that. And so you can see, since everyone has a different starting piece, each player's game will progress differently. If a piece is drawn at some point during the game, let's see if we can find one here. For example, this piece is drawn. Well, that was Red's starting piece. Well, then he would just skip as that piece came, and everybody else would be dropping that piece into their puzzle. And you can see this would be a pretty bad scenario. What you're trying to do is you're trying to fill up your thing and leave no dots showing. Each dot that you have showing is going to give you a negative point, and you want as few points as possible. Once all the pieces are put into each of the bins, then the player with the fewest dots, each player records their score, and you go to round two. You just dump your pieces out, and you'll flip the board over to number two. Now, board number two is very similar to board number one, except some of these spots you want to leave open, because if you leave those spots open, you are going to get points. Positive points, and that's a big deal. And so that makes board two a lot different to play than board number one. Board number three is the same as board number two, but now it adds negative 5 spots. You really want to cover those up. And then board number four has matching symbol pairs. You cover up one of them, and that's bad. You're going to lose 3 points. You cover up both of them, you're fine. But if you leave both uncovered, then you will gain 3 points. And so the boards add a little bit of variety to the game. The pieces themselves, there's quite a few of them, and they are very, very good quality. Very nice texture. And you can flip them over any side you want, put them in any way you want. They fit together very well, and they add a nice tactile feel to the game. The person with the fewest negative points, or the most positive, however it works out, at the end of the game is the winner. Now, I like Tetris. One of the problems with the game itself is that the pieces come down faster and faster, and eventually you can't win because it's just so fast your mind can't handle it. In this game, you don't have that problem. And so I suppose you could play with someone who takes forever putting their piece in, but it's usually not that hard. You only have so many spots to put the piece, put it in already. My only problem with the game is that there's 4 different boards, and they're interesting. Board 1 is kind of boring after you play the other boards, but it's kind of a warm-up board. But after you play these several times, you might say, well, you know, I would like to see some more variety. As would I. You would think they could sell an expansion pack that just had like 8 more boards for each color in it, you know, with different size that you can fit in. You can go on the internet and find expansions for the game that people have made that you can print out and put on. And, you know, I kind of like the official stuff myself, but that would be my only negative side to it. Other than that, I have found that the game works very well. People are very attracted to it. It's a very good game that I can bring out to people who normally don't play games, and they'll easily try Fits out. So you like Tetris, you like Fits, and vice versa.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.